mid-evening as the John Birch Society post above. Check them at their site. Late evening on this hot, partly cloudy, very humid with a dew point of 71 and an afternoon high of 91 today on this very late August, very late summertime in the greater Roseville metropolitan area in the great state of Michigan. This is Vincenzo'S Gold Crypto Investing, where you like, subscribe, and share for a one-of-a-kind, probability-based, company-made trading alert and technical analysis. Probability-based, right? And company philosophy. As we have just now went over, if you can believe this, 500 subscribers. It doesn't show it on here for some reason. This one's off. But if we go here, we can go to Vincenzo'S Gold Crypto Investing. And you can see, congratulations to Vincenzo'S Gold Crypto Investing. 501 subscribers, if you can believe that. We are 65% to monetization. We only need 499 more subscribers. You guys are the best, and women. I've noticed, yes, old Vincenzo has noticed our women audience has been going up. And Ashley and Vincenzo's bullish or bearish indicators beta test shared to more of your female audience. We have been firing female program directors and male female the female marketing department. We fired 3 men and 4 women already because we just can't stabilize that department. But now we're up to 4% females again. So our newest director is doing a great job. She's doing a wonderful job, and she deserves a raise, and we are going to give her a raise, right? But as we do know, the lawsuits are impending. They started, the first few of them have just been mailed out. The IRS is knocking on doors. The FBI is raiding the Detroit City Council because of what's going on in the crypto and Bitcoin. And everyone's turning on everybody now because everyone's trapped and lost in the trades that they never wanted to be into and can't get out of, and they don't know what to do. So they're coming to Vincenzo'S Gold Crypto Investing to try to figure out what's going on, to get stability, to get some news, and to try to figure this all out and not commit suicide, right? Because they're being liquidated and fleeced and heisted. But look at that. I mean, it doesn't get it. When I say Vincenzo'S Gold Crypto Investing is super simple and easy to trade this market, I mean, that's why I don't put a lot of alerts out. We give you the forecast. We give you the reasonings and method behind the madness of what's going on of the criminal gangster cartel and how to audible and subvert and overt the overters and subverters and fleece, heist, and shiest them into profitability, right? We showed you what we were in here, right? We're just going to go over this real quick. Yeah, that's a hideous fucking color. See that, right? You guys can see that. And then you see that. You guys can see that. We diagnosed, sniffed out, industry exclusive, and detected this to Audible you from here when it crashed. And then as we caught support on the $1.08 and started trading up like this, when we were about right here, we put this overall pattern out and told you it's going to trade in an up and sideways constricting consolidation and a bearish consolidation because you had crashing overall volume with an up and sideways price after a pump, which is very bearish. Often assigned the buyers or the bulls are being exhausted, or the bears or the sellers are taking over the market with a rounding top. As you notice there, and the price is going to come down. And the technical target out of this rising wedge is the bottom of the wedge. So that's why we told you right there with this. And then we circled this about 4 or 5 days ago at the 20th, that $1.09 was the target in an up and down fashion, right? And we don't make that many updates because not that many updates need to be happening. So we make updates when things happen. So we gave you an update here and showed you how it could pump up. And then as soon as you break this, what it would do. And then when it broke it here, we put a watch out to tell you what to watch out for as it was interacting. And then showed you how it was going to come up right there, get retested the upper resistance now that used to be support. And then if it gets rejected, you trade to the moving averages and then you trade down, right? And then you look over time how it did that. As we zoom in, I'm going to show you this in super simple, easy ways to trade this market, right? And this is how Vincenzo makes it super simple and easy. And then as it interacted right here, as you were breaking out, and this doesn't look like a whole lot, but when you're coming down in here in the minute time frame, you got a lot of action. You can have 15, 20% moves right here And then I told you what to watch out for on this first one, and then when it bought back in, what that meant, right? It looks a lot simpler when you're seeing it after it happens. And then when we were down in here, we told you, we drew this out, that usually it comes up and retest, which it did, straddle along it a little bit, and then it'd get rejected, and it did, with the overall volume falling except where there's sell volume. And we said it's going to do that and trade down to the technical target. And what did it do? It came up, hit that as resistance, came down to the moving averages like we said, in an up and down fashion. See that? You keep on moving. Then you get really close to the technical target down there at $1.18. Then you have a huge pump right here on a few hour time frame, or a daily time frame. If you take almost a day right there. And everyone's asking if it's going to the moon, and we're saying no. We showed you the reasonings why. We haven't broken any key support. And then just as the hype train and the all-enticing jabroni start getting in, you have massive jabroni building up here because we're not paying attention to the overall pattern that happened way back there out of that rising wedge, right? And they get fleece heisted and shisted into the hype. And then as we watch the price continue, what happens? It falls off the face of the earth and has a huge crash right here, after people got trapped in because they're not listening to Vincenzo, and then it crashes immediately 10-11%. You're down, and now you don't know what to do. All right, so I know what to do. I'm going to average in more. Then it has a little run. Then it has another huge crash, and look, long behold, what did we come down to? $1.08, our target. Look at that. See that? Now we told you you got to start trying to figure out here now. So now that we're down here in XRP, I didn't even realize we're doing XRP. We have all the moving averages, the 50, the 200, the 100, the 50, the 25, the 10, and the 5, all descending. So that means now as this price tries to fight up into here, it's going to have major overhead resistance by these moving averages, which acts as sell pressure and wants to force the price down. So the only way to break and pop on the other side of these in the hour time frame to try to become hour bullish is to have big candlesticks like that, but they got to be green and they got to be stacked next to each other, or they're going to get, every time you get in here, they get beat down by the moving averages because the overhead sell pressure, right? And there's no volume except huge sell volume. So any bounce off of here into these moving averages, you're going to get immediately rejected, and it's going to force you down right now in XRP. And now that we've diagnosed, sniffed out, and detected how we got here in an industry exclusive way, we're going to delete some of this malarkey now because it no longer needs to be here. Well, that needs to be here because this met the technical target. Our watch has been hit, and then we're going to get rid of this, right, and get rid of all this noise and nonsense and mumbo jumbo out of the way. Now you need to try to figure out what's going to happen. So we're going to put these smaller now because they are now, we don't need to see these right now. Start to move these over into the future now for when we want to use them. Delete that, right? Now you got to say, is this a big W where you came down, came up, came down, and now you try to come back up? See that? Is this something like this that we're in, right? Where we're at a phenomenal buying opportunity because it is hitting the 200-day moving average, which is a buy zone. Or is this something that's just going to start to trade down now and just crash and not be able to hold this 108, get a little bit of a pump to the moving averages and then get rejected? That's what you need to start watching out for. But right now I don't see any big volume to indicate that, God, of course it had to stop there. I don't really see any big volume that would indicate we have a big pump going. So what I would watch for right now, after we broke out of that rising wedge, is if you form another rising wedge here. See, this is why we moved these over. You have upper resistance at the $1.19 now in a descending fashion after we just hit this underneath support. Now what you could do is form another rising wedge where, let me show you this real quick. You can trade up like that, and now you have another rising wedge. So you could be about to do something like that, and if you do, and you pay attention to see if you can hold this line with some volume, this could be a nice 10.5 to 11% trade in XRP. So this is what I would look for you to be in now. If you crash below that, your next line to come down to, yes, we know we're coming down there, but your next line to come down to in between that and the top of the last line of defense to the shit house or to get my shit together box in orange that starts at 58 cents is 68 cents is your next step down, right? Moving along to, I don't even know if I talked about Bitcoin. Bitcoin, you can see now, so that's XRP. You can see how we diagnosed, sniffed out, and detected that. And all of these were very similar Bitcoin was in a very big rising wedge, or a rising channel, not a rising wedge. It was in a huge rising channel. See that? And it started all the way out at about 30,000, but really the first targets were hit at about 36,656. And that's where we're at now. And we've been telling you, as people have been panicking, when it hit here, we said we didn't break, watch it. And it bought back in and got up to 50, just shy of 50,000. Then we put a watch out, just like we have on Doge, XLM, and the rest of them that are in these rising channels and wedges. In this case, a channel, we had an industry exclusive watch there at the 48,646 and 26 cents. And now you can see we've had a nice crash with some nice volume to break this key uptrending support. What the volume indicates now that there was a move made there to decisively break out of this, right? Now what usually happens, you see it's pumping back up. You can come up and retest this, and then if the volume's not there and the overhead sell pressure is there, you crash. And you come down to your underneath target, your initial underneath target to the moving average at about 44,000, right? And then the ultimate target is going to end up being 28,193 and 49 cents, because we know we have a big late August and September consolidation at a new level down as we work our way into a big November crash, right? But we do know after this pump, we have a huge crash, and Vincenzo's been calling in Bitcoin for a 40 to 50% initial crash, which would bring us down to that $27,000 mark, which is a 44% crash. Then a huge consolidation with big pumps and dumps, right? And if we zoom out to the daily time frame, we're going to have big pumps and dumps. But we're going to be in this big consolidation down here, right, after we crash. And then we're going to come down and have a big November crash that's going to bring us all the way down to potentially $10,000 in November. We'll keep an eye out on that for you here at Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, because you can see where I have it circled at $27,755.53, that in November, between our two targets, if we take the median of these crashes, the average between both, we're looking at a 56% crash to the upper end of our last line of defense, or get my shit together zone before the shit house, all the way down to $12,000 in November with a huge crash. So we have a huge crash coming late August, which is now, to early September, down to here. Then we have a huge consolidation, and then another huge crash, right? So here's what you got going on in Bitcoin, and then I'm going to let you go here. You got a big crash coming, and then a nice consolidation, and then another huge crash coming. See that? This is what you got going on. Big crash from where you're at now to 28,000. Then a nice up and down consolidation where there's going to be big pumps where you can make money to get people in. And then another at the end of that consolidation in the first week or two in November, a huge crash to the next leg down to get into the heart of, or the top zone of our last line of defense to the shit house, or AKA the get my shit together zone, right? And that's what we're watching for. We've been forecasting that since way back here when we diagnosed this pump, and it, it's still and diagnosed and sniffed out this pump that was coming, gave you the heads up. We're giving you the heads up as we have that it's coming down, and then we're giving you the heads up a big consolidation with up and down big moves on the bull and bear side, and then another huge crash down. We're giving you the method behind the madness and an insight and super simple, easy ways to trade this market. 4 steps to 20 steps ahead of the rest of the YouTube hustlers, shysters, fleece hustlers, and scumbags on there that are in bed with the criminal gangster cartel. And then Dogecoin's the same thing. We're in a rising wedge. We told you your technical target out of that is the bottom of the wedge at 18 cents. And also coincides with the bottom of the last line of defense to the shit house, aka the get my shit together zone, right? As we know, the red's the shit house. And we're showing you this too. We drew out the other day when we were giving you that watch. If it breaks, what to look for. You can come up now and retest this to crash, right? Now, if we zoom in, let's see if any of these wicks have done that. I haven't zoomed in this because I've been busy. No, fuck. I always forget I got that stupid shit on. Bam. We got to clear this mark out. Bam. Got to keep this thing beautiful. Bam. Right? So we didn't really come back up there yet. We got underneath that 200 and got harshly rejected by it. And so we hit that target right away, so we can delete that. You see that? And then we have our little arrow at 25 cents, and we're almost there. We're up. We got down to 26 cents, so we're within a penny of our first target. And then that's what can initiate a little pump. If it does happen, it doesn't have to. The moving averages can keep knocking it down, and then we're coming to our ultimate target of our short-term target of 18 cents, or the bottom of the get my shit together or last line of defense. Like, subscribe, and share to Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing. I had somebody that wanted AMC yesterday, so we'll take a quick look at that. I would not be invested in this. If you want to grab the pump and dumps, that's fine, but this is not something to invest long-term. All you guys did on the Reddit Raiders and short squeezing the people that were shorting this massively because they were right to short it because it's a horrible company as far as not making money, bad business model, and they should be mostly going out of business because nobody goes to the movies anymore. Unless you're taking this for the quick pump when it crashes, that's it. But if you're going to buy it here thinking you're going way up there, it's not going to happen. Where this thing is going to go, because all you guys did on AMC was bail out the business and fuck the bondholders, right? But this thing is going to eventually come back down after all this hype and shit drains out. This will eventually go back down, and it'll go lower than it was before of about $5 because this company has it's fucked. It doesn't have a business. It's over. But I would not be buying this thinking you're going to get rich and this thing's just going to keep going up because AMC is a great company. If you buy it after it tanks, like massively tanks, like it did after this pump. Right? So it got bought way up, and then with our industry exclusive measuring tool, all the way up at $72, and then within a few days it crashed 61, 62, 63%. That's when you buy it and wait for a nice pump. Now is not the time to buy it at the top of a recent pump of 40, 50% to upper resistance. You wait for it to crash down, way down here again, and then buy another pump, and then you got to quickly sell because this thing will eventually go down just like GameStop. That's why I don't talk too much about AMC. I don't have the patience for it. Like, subscribe, and share it. Let's see if you guys can push old Vincenzo. It took us about 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks to get from 400 to 500. Let's see if we can do this in less than 2 weeks to get us from 500 to 600 subscribers. Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing. Much love. Peace and love. Peace and love.